Hi, my name is Zoe. I am a professional psychic. Today we're going to do a pick a card reading. So we have the Path as group number 1, the Gate, group number 2, the Selkie, the Path, the Gate, and the Selkie. You might need to pause this video and just meditate on it for a while. That's totally fine too. Whenever you're ready, you can jump to the timestamps that I've posted below to go straight to your group. Remember, these are collective readings, so not everything may resonate with you, but take what resonates and leave the rest. If you're here, it's because you were drawn to this reading and there are some powerful messages here for you. Either way, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and comment below with whichever card you choose and whether it resonates. Let's go. Hello, welcome to your reading, group number 1. If you picked the Path card, you are in the right place. So if you pick the Path card, you're likely someone who is currently really kind of figuring out where they're going. I feel like you're on the right path, but you're trying to figure out, maybe you're reevaluating where you're going. You have to really think about what's ahead for you and whether things are aligned with you in your life, like whether they're in alignment with your path and your highest purpose. I feel like you have so much going for you. There's so much to look forward to for you. I do see that you might have hit like a dead end. It feels like maybe things are not necessarily where you want them to be, so you have to reevaluate whether this is still the right path for you, whether this is still like going in the right direction. And I think that's a really important theme for you right now, is direction and figuring out, you know, what your life is going to look like. Okay, let's see what else the cards have to say. Ooh, this is a really beautiful time for your career. Let's see. The Sleeper, the Aspirant. Ooh, Archer. Okay, I feel like things have kind of been hit or miss for you, but you can be a perfectionist. You have this idea of where you want to go. You have aspirations, you have ambition, and you have this need to achieve and succeed. But I do see that sometimes you might have trouble acknowledging that there are setbacks, that there are things that are not going to go the way you want them to go. You have had all these dreams for a long time, but you're not capable of sometimes acknowledging that it's okay to mess up sometimes. That's part of the journey. That's part of growing. That's part of being there. I feel like you're being called to move forward, to aspire to greater things, but it's almost like you can get ahead of yourself so much that you forget that life isn't all sunshine and rainbows sometimes. So when the things that come up, like for example, consequences from the past come up, you realize that you fucked up, you know, and that's something that's hard for someone who is aspiring more, or who has kind of put people or life on a pedestal. I feel like you have very high standards for yourself. You expect a lot for yourself. This is not just something you can just like ignore. And with the Sleeper, it feels like you're finally gaining clarity for things that you have done or things that have happened in your life. It's almost like you are waiting. Everything has a consequence or a reaction. You know, there is no non-reaction. A non-reaction is a reaction. It feels like things you've said may be coming up. You might have said something on social media, or you might have said something and now you're feeling like side effects. I'm not saying you're getting canceled, but I do feel like you sometimes can get ahead of yourself, and you sometimes say things like, because you think you're thinking of the future, you're not actually thinking in the moment. So this is really important. I feel like you're not the most patient person. You know, you don't tend to like hold your breath or wait for the right time to do things. Sometimes you're like, yeah, I just gotta go for it. I gotta control my own destiny. But you can't control time, you know? It's like you can't force your life to happen. Sometimes you do have to wait. Sometimes you do have to. And you have a tendency to like shoot your shot before before it happens. You have a tendency to do that. I feel like it's like hit or miss almost. Instead of waiting for the right time to do it or the right time to make things happen, I'm getting that you have been kind of just like seeing if you hit the target with the Archer. You've been kind of just seeing if things stick. That's not necessarily sustainable, especially for someone like the aspirant, right? So I love that you're putting yourself out there, and I love how motivated you are. And I don't think being super patient is always a good thing. I know I'm not a patient person, so I completely relate to that. I think that for you, whatever's ahead is going to be very exciting for you, but also like you're going to have to learn that things happen when they happen, and not everything is going to unravel the way you want it to. And that every time you shoot your shot, every time you make an attempt at your goal or your dreams or whatever you're working on, we'll look deeper with the cards in a second, that's when you also have to realize that there are consequences to those arrows. You know, there are consequences every time you do that. So this is really exciting because I feel like this is really focused on your career, on your path forward. This isn't about going backwards. This is about facing the consequences of your actions, realizing that every time that you make an attempt without really planning ahead or being patient, you do have to face the effects of that. You have to face the consequences of that. And I feel like with the aspirant, this is also about you like trying to do something bigger with your life. You know that you're meant for greater things. You know that this life cannot contain you. Like, you have such a beautiful soul and such a driven soul. You're not someone who's just going to wait around for life to happen to you. You will make life happen. You are in the driver's seat here. So I think that's really beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and move these to see if I can get some tarot cards. Okay, group number 1. How can the universe assist us? What do we need to know? Ooh, the 2 of Cups. Okay, I'm automatically getting marriage vibes or commitment. This feels like a very strong commitment. I feel like there might be a wedding coming up or a union of some kind. Something you've been looking forward to, like you've always dreamed of. You might be the kind of person that's always dreamed of having a wedding that is a certain way, or wearing this dress, or dressing up, or you might have dreamed of what your marriage would look like. I feel like that is just around the corner for you. This is an aspiration for you. This is a goal. I'm seeing a partnership coming through too. It could be like a work partnership. It feels like you finally found someone you can partner up with. You don't have to do this alone. Your path really consists of multiple people, multiple things. But we can elaborate on that in a second. Okay, I do feel like in the past, your actions have had pretty severe consequences. With the Tower, it's like everything you're doing now, you need to be careful about karma coming back, because it feels like what you're doing now, how you go about it, is everything. I feel like you're going to have to, like, things you really didn't understand before, decisions that you might have made because you didn't really fully get it, you're finally getting it, like, bam, it's going to just hit you all at once. It feels like a lot of the things that you did in the past, you're not that person anymore. Like, you know you've changed, but it feels like it's kind of catching up to you now. I feel like it's chasing you almost. Like, you can't be in denial of this. Because the truth is, it's very messy. I'm seeing consequences for your actions coming up. You having to pay them, you having to present them, and maybe you've been in denial of them. I actually feel like, this could be, I'm not calling you a cheater, but for example, in a relationship, you might have cheated, or you might not have been honest, okay? You might not have been honest, or you might not have been the best partner, and I see that resurfacing, or I see what you did resurfacing, and it causing a lot of turmoil in your life. And the more you can be very clear on all of it and really be honest with yourself, the better. Because I feel like you are an impulsive person, and you've acted on impulse in the past because you've wanted something, you've wanted to get somewhere. But the Tower is telling me like things are not as solid as they seem in your life, and I see you kind of feeling like you might have to walk on eggshells around someone, or in a situation it feels like you're on thin ice. But with the Four of Cups, this is showing me that like you may not have really been aware of how much you were doing. It's almost like you are finally waking up to that fact. I feel like because you were bored, there's a sense of like being bored, being like restless. You may have acted too soon. I'm hearing think, like use your brain before you have to do anything else. Okay, we have the Well. This definitely feels like a very powerful soulmate energy. This person has so much space for you in their heart, so much love, and they love how big your energy gets. They love how like you think, they love how much you like to dream and plan ahead. They feel your creativity, and I feel like they also they inspire it, they invigorate it. I always say surround yourself with people who lift you up, who make you feel better, who energize you. And this person energizes you like they are your battery. They are your ride or die. Like this person has so much love for you and so much emotion for you. I'm seeing them being very emotional around you. I feel like you're going to have a very like interesting life with them. I'm seeing you going through your next phase with them, next step. And if you're not getting married or you're not in a relationship, this is a sign that you will enter into a serious relationship. I'm seeing you meeting that person that is very fulfilling and satisfying. You never get tired of being with them. I feel like you weren't always how you are now. There's a sense of like acting with kind of a mask, not being authentic to who you are. Like feeling like you needed to fit into a certain group, or feeling like you needed to be friends with someone and not being yourself around them. And it might feel like you're still kind of lying to yourself, like you're still playing a role. With the Seven of Cups, it's this feeling of not being authentic because you're pretending. Emotionally, you might also be spreading yourself too thin, like maybe it's just too much for you, It feels like there are a lot of different things that you have put your heart into and your soul, and it feels like you're not capable of really just being yourself, of going back to the basics, of finding that truth within yourself. I'm seeing a lot of different things that you did in your life kind of coming up again. It just feels like these parts of yourself that you have been pushing away, it's time for you to face them. And I actually see you really realizing who you are through this process. Okay, let's see what else. The Five of Pentacles. I'm seeing you acting out of desperation. Like you might be feeling like you have to act, you have to try, you have to keep doing it, you have to, even if you don't have time to waste around because you're in a situation where you might need more. I'm seeing like you potentially needing to move or needing to get out of one of these, like whether it's a work situation or health situation or just energetically. I feel like You know you need a new space. You need to feel whole again. And you might be acting, but not out of patience or aspirations or ambition, more from a place of fear, more from a place of distress, of feeling like things are broken and you need them back together. So I think this is a really powerful message for you, because no matter what you've been through in your life, you've always been someone who is capable of overcoming the odds. You know, people should never underestimate you, because you have always been the person for them, the person that needs to, like, love them, you know, that needs to, like, you can thrive no matter what. And I think you have to remember where you're coming from. Remember what shaped you. Remember how you got this way, because it seems like that's kind of something you need to be reminded of from time to time. And also just acknowledge that you've already accomplished so much, whether you want to or not. I see you achieving things. I think a lot of the time when people are perfectionists, they tend to not see things as a journey. They just see things as the destination. Marriage is not the destination. It's part of the journey. Remember that. There are going to be ups and downs, but I feel like your love life is definitely on an uphill. Like on a up, it's getting better. It's up leveling. And I feel like with the 7 of Cups here and the Tower and the Sleeper, this is your time to realize, like, okay, well, now I have to also combat these things that I did in the past that are having side effects in my life that are coming forward. And also, if you're wondering why something's happening to you, this is a really good indication that you need to look at the past. You need to look at what you did, like how this could be an effect of something you did in the past. Don't just complain or, try to move forward. You need clarity. You just need to know what's going on, So that's the energy I'm getting here. And I'm gonna go ahead and pull another card. Okay, don't doubt your worth. I love this. The Lighthouse. There is so much hope for you, and I feel like no matter what consequences come up, remember that's the past you, While you need to acknowledge them, remember that you are so worthy. You're so worthy of love. You deserve this love. You deserve this person, this unconditional love, this union. You are worthy. And if you feel like you're stuck and you're on thin ice, or you're feeling like you have to walk on eggshells, then you need to evaluate that, This is something that needs to be visited. I love that. We have purpose, judgment. This is such an interesting mushroom because the majority of it is actually under the wood. It feels like an iceberg. It feels like you're judging something from the outside, or people might even be judging you from the outside. But you have so much depth. There's so much more underneath, And you can't really judge anyone by its cover. You can't judge a book by its cover. So this is about really owning that. Who people are seeing and who they are, that's not who they are. That's not who you are, It feels like maybe there's an emphasis on how things seem, how you want your life to look. But there is so much more depth here, so much more to you. You have a deeper purpose. You have so much more substance than people realize, and that people need to get to know you and not judge you based on past mistakes or whatever's resurfacing for you. I'm going to see if I can get a rune. Okay. This is very bright, Like this feels very bright. It feels like a light coming through. I'm seeing that there's a mental breakthrough coming through for you. A new idea, a new path is opening up. Like it feels very brilliant. Like there's just shining a light on what matters. So if you felt like there isn't light at the end of the tunnel, there is here. I also feel like it's a creative spark. It's never like you lose hope, you know? There's a sense of like, there's always more out there for you and you know it. So the letter K might come up for you. This might be the first letter of a name, or it just might be a part of the name of someone that's really important here. But it feels like K is an indication. And also, you need to listen to this fire. You need to listen to this spark. Let it ignite. Let it grow, you know? People should never underestimate you. Okay, we have... Interesting. So we have Gemini, we have the 6th house, and we have the sun. So Gemini, Virgo, and Leo energy. So this could be sun, moon, or rising sign. So this might resonate with you, or it might represent a Leo, a Gemini, or a Virgo that's in your life or coming in, that's going to be playing a very important role for you in this. They could have the letter K in their name. I feel like also with the 6th house, this does bring me back to career and skills and growth, but also that feeling of health, of needing to be healthy, of needing to work on yourself. You might feel like right now you're trying to work on your health a lot, your physical health, your energy. Like you might be trying a new diet or a new, like, it feels like you're trying a new exercise regime or regime. Oh my God. And I feel like this is really about focusing on your health, treating your body well, really connecting with your body, and not getting too hard on yourself when you can't keep up with it. Like if you're on a weight loss journey, you might be feeling really motivated to do that, but I just feel like you have to be careful not to be too hard on yourself when you don't meet the goals you want to meet, you know? My advice is to take a more intuitive approach, but I'm not a health guru. I'm not a medical professional, so I don't want to give you any medical advice, but this is just the time for you to really like hone in on what you want and how you want your body to look and feel, you know? This is also about any health problems and healing. It feels like this is a really powerful time for you to heal. I feel like you might be on a health journey, some of you. Like your ego can sometimes get in the way and cause you some issues as well, which can also contribute to those impulses. And with Gemini, you know, this energy is very versatile. You take on different things. I feel like you like to learn a lot. You might like to read a lot of like self-help books, or you might be really into a certain like path, a hobby or skill set, you know. But there's something very adaptable here. Like there's a very flexible energy of wanting to shift and change and kind of be like a chameleon. Okay, so I think that's where we're gonna stop. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel and comment below if you enjoyed it. And if you would like to dive deeper, you're welcome to book a reading with me. My website is zoethepsychic.com. The links are below. Stay tuned for any live readings that I do and also any astrology readings that are coming up. I have a bunch of new exciting things in store for this channel. So thank you so much. Bye. Hello. Welcome to your reading group number 2. If you picked the Gate card, then you are in the right place. This is telling me that you are at a threshold in your life. You're on the brink of something greater. There is something new that awaits you. I feel like this has a lot to do with maybe traveling or going on a journey. The gate is like an opening, a truth that you finally get to see. You finally get to see what awaits you on the other side, you know? You finally get to explore. This is the time where you know that whatever's on the other side of that gate is going to be exactly what you need. The universe is trying to give you an opening, trying to give you a way forward, trying to show you and offer you all the opportunities that you are looking for. This is a beautiful card to get because it just means that there is so much hope and excitement. Okay, so let's start with some oracle cards here. We have the Painter. Ooh, so this tells me that there is something that you have been envisioning. And I feel like I'm seeing a lot of productivity happening, a lot of making your creative goals and visions coming true. I feel like this is about making your life look like the life you've always dreamed of, making it look beautiful. I feel like this is a very powerful time. See you getting a lot done. I also feel like you're really learning to trust your own self. You might have been really reliant on someone else to help you out, or you might have been waiting for them to help you, but it feels like now, like you're done waiting. You've got this. This is a time for your independence to really shine through, for you to really start focusing on you, focusing on your goals, focusing on your personal journey. This is about your vision. This is about your independence, not needing anyone to help you, not needing to do anything by anyone else's book. And also just being you, even if people don't like it, even if people think you're being selfish, if people think you're just making it all about you, this is your life. This is your journey. I feel like you have so much waiting for you right now. All you have to do is walk through that door. Now, the Painter is always going to bring me to a place of vision, of feeling like you have this idea, this dream, the way you want things to be, and then it's about making it happen. I feel like this is about having all the control to create your own reality, you know? The Guide is such a beautiful card as well because it's all about like no longer feeling like you have to wait around for other people to fix your problems. It's almost like you did that. You did try to rely on other people. You might feel like, well, I tried to rely on you, but you weren't there. You know, you weren't there when I needed you, so I learned to do it myself. That's the energy I'm getting. It's a very empowering card, but it also comes because we have to, because you had to survive, so you had to learn. And I feel like you were in survival mode for a really long time. It's difficult to feel hope. It's difficult to feel like you can just enjoy your life when you're in survival mode. You know, it feels like things are much harder, and it feels like you just don't have time to relax. You don't really have the possibility of just waiting for someone to come save you or help you or guide you. You have been your own compass, you know? So let's look at the tarot as well. The Thief, I think that a lot of people underestimate you when it comes to having fun, but I see you living it up. This is the time for you to celebrate your vision, your life, live the way you want to live it. Other people weren't there for you when you needed them. Now it's about really just living like that, living that truth. No one could have prepared you for what you've experienced. No one. I feel like you weren't able to fully make your vision happen because there was a lack of closure. It was almost like you were waiting on someone else to help you, to give you that closure, and now you're like, I'm done waiting. I'm done. You had to make your own mistakes with the Fool. You had to learn to like do things and experiment and do things the hard way. And sometimes you would mess up and end up in really difficult situations. But I feel like you grew so much from that. I'm seeing you really wanting to take a leap of faith and really being forced into a position of needing to trust the unknown, needing to be a little wild, to be a little free. People might not have understood how much you were actually just trying to get by, just trying to like learn from your mistakes. There is someone who's been draining your energy. You were giving a lot of energy towards someone who was sucking it away. This person was very dramatic. Maybe they played the victim or they were oversensitive, but it feels like you are now like, no, I'm not going to be that person for them. I'm not going to just give all of my self to this person. I'm going to be selfish. I'm going to be the one to like do what's best for me, even if it means that the other person doesn't like it. I'm getting a lot of like this, you know, when you have a friend who always has problems or they're always going through something, they're kind of a prima donna. I feel like that's the kind of person that was kind of taking from you. They were taking advantage of you. I see them using you, and it feels like you have so much that you have built for yourself, and it's about enjoying those things, enjoying whatever you have worked so hard for, because you've earned it, and you don't even have to earn it to have it. Like, you should just enjoy these moments that you have. You don't have to give to this person the way you think you do. This person is like an energy vampire, okay? I feel like you have a very soft emotions. You're very empathic. This person is trying to take advantage of that. You do not need that. The world reverse is telling me that like you may have been trying to save up for a trip. I feel like you may have been trying to, it's either like get a degree or save up for some kind of trip, but it feels like you were never fully able to do that. Like maybe you've been working or you've never really had enough money, but I'm seeing you finally being able to reap the rewards. I feel like this could be the end of a bad cycle, like a cycle of distress, a cycle of emotion. I'm seeing a relationship might be ending, but you feel like you never forgot forgiveness. I actually feel like it's already over, but you never really felt like you got closure from this relationship or from this person. It feels like you're mourning something that hasn't even fully been processed yet, that hasn't been fully revealed. There's a sense of loss, of feeling like you never really got to finish. Almost like the world where the rug was pulled out from underneath you. And then we have the Knight of Swords reversed. This person was supposed to help you. They were supposed to be there for you. They were supposed to act, but I feel like they just didn't want to listen. They had a lot that they were doing. They were always busy. I feel like they were aggressive. There are just things that you needed that they couldn't provide. And so you had to do them yourself. You had to be your own lover. You had to be your own love. And I think that's what's important here, is that this person really didn't care for you the way you needed to be cared for. There was something missing, and it almost feels like you didn't even get a say in how it ended. I love how I said that, when something's missing, and the Eight of Cups reverse came up, because when this comes up, it's like there is something missing. It feels like you're not getting what you need out of a relationship or out of a situation. And it's almost like, when can I just be me? When can I just live my life and actually get that love, that deep desire, that pleasure that I need? I feel like there was this person, it was very one-sided. There's this, actually getting two relationships here, two people. One of them might be a friend or a lover who was kind of draining you energetically. And the other person is someone who you were trying to rely on, but they weren't able to come through for you. It feels like you never really got an apology. You never really were able to move forward from that. And so now when it comes to embracing what's on the other side and embracing your vision, it's almost like you really need that closure to make that happen, to see the big picture. You need someone to acknowledge that how much you have, but it's also like, well, you already are here. You already waited long enough for them. You had to fuck up all on your own, you know? So let's see what else we have. Let me see. All right, here we go. Stars. You can manifest your every wish, not witch. For the longest time, you've kind of waited on this other person, or you've been trying to make things happen, but they haven't fully manifested for you. And this is a reminder that you have that power, you know, for yourself. You're your own guide. You're your own, like, pleasure center. Give yourself what you need, because everything that you want is at your fingertips. All you have to do is step through that gate. All you have to do is open the door and let that in. The world that you really want, it feels like it's right around the corner for you. It's here. There's so much hope in this reading for you. So even if you're struggling with these things and this lack of closure, just know that this is not about them. This is about you. This is about your life. The Scarlet Elf Cup is all about healing, but also like mending things, like mending relationships, mending situations. It feels like whatever scars have been left on you, whatever traumas have been created by these people in your life or these situations, this is all healing. It's all getting better. This is a time of being patient with yourself and really just enjoying yourself, giving yourself love, and manifesting your every desire ever. I also feel like health might be a thing for you. Like maybe you are struggling with some stuff health-wise, and it's important because you were also balancing that with the rest of your life. It felt like maybe like these things that were out of your control, you're realizing they are in your control. You know, you're realizing that you're on the brink of a new you, of a new life. Okay, I'm going to get a rune just to see what other energies we have here. Ooh, Fehu reversed. Interesting. Yeah, so I feel like there's an ending of a friendship or of a feminine presence in your life. This is someone with a lot of sensitive, emotional energy that is just kind of not really centering you or making you feel aligned. It feels like something's missing, like they're not really seeing you for who you are, or they're hogging the energy. They're hogging it all. It might make you feel like something's off about them, but you haven't really wanted to face it. The Fehu reversed is, I'm seeing also like this could feel like you're losing money from them. Like maybe you're spending a lot on them, or they feel like they're taking your money. Stop it. Stop letting them have your money, okay? You don't have to pay for them anymore. You don't have to support them. You don't have to give them anything. This person, like I'm seeing a very ugly soul on the inside. I don't feel like they are in it for you. They're not there for you. They're taking from you. You're losing money from them. I'm also seeing creative project really coming to an end, making way for a new one. I feel a little bit of corruption when it comes to money. Like when it comes to trying to get carried away when it comes to money, like overspending or greed. It feels like someone's been greedy with you. It feels like there's splurging or too much money or some kind of like negative habit when it comes to money or materialistic things. You might be losing things or losing assets because of another person. So that's something to think about, is like, what are you losing here? Because there is a mourning, there is grief. It feels like you're not able to fully complete things. There's a lack of closure. The cycle is never ending. And I think that this really does need healing. It does need listening. So give yourself that. Don't let anyone take that. Also, F is a letter coming through as well. So the letter F could be in a name that's important to you. Okay, we have Gemini. We also have Pisces. Ooh, lots of Pisces energy actually with that Neptune. So Gemini and Pisces, this could be their sun, moon, or rising that's going to represent these people. It could also represent you, but I definitely feel like a lot of this comes from trauma and past life experiences. Be careful about escapism. Like, it's good to splurge and enjoy yourself, but don't go too far, because sometimes we can use like that as a vice for dealing with our issues or avoiding a real problem. Try to make sure you're not using these pleasure-seeking habits to escape. That's the opposite of what you need to do right now. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to comment below. Let me know if this is the group you chose, and let me know whether this resonated with you or if you had any thoughts. I would love to hear all about it. I also want to say that you can book a reading with me on my website, zoethepsychic.com, if you would like. I offer a variety of different options for readings. And make sure to stay tuned for more astrology videos as well as live readings. I definitely want to explore that more and offer that more for you. And also, I have a lot of really interesting videos coming up, and we're going to explore a lot of new things now that my compatibility series will be coming to an end once I'm done with Pisces and Pisces Aries cusp. So thank you so much. Bye-bye. Welcome group number 3. If you chose the Selkie, you're in the right place. Now, the Selkie is an indicator that you feel like your freedom was taken away, or you feel like there is a certain loss of self-control, loss of control over your life or your situation. So if you resonate with this, then this reading is most likely really going to resonate with you, because this is all about you kind of finding who you are and finding your personal power again. I feel like you have so much of that, but it feels like all of that is taken away. All of that is let go. You know, it feels like you can't fully trust yourself. You can't fully trust the way your path is going, because it feels like other people just seem to have a say over it. Other people are going to take from you and ask so much more of you than you are able to give them. And I'm here to tell you that this is not the case. I feel like there is so much more to your story, and you are so much more of a multifaceted person than that. So let's dive into it. Okay, I feel like this is going to be a time of trying to reconnect with yourself, and also like realizing that you don't owe anyone an apology. You are who you are. I feel like you have tried really hard to mend things with someone, but this is just showing me that you don't really need to. You don't need to try anymore. You have done your job. You have said you're sorry. You have tried to mend things. You have tried to work on things. It's not your job to push things. It's not your job to keep going. It feels like you have felt like you had to bend over backwards for this person, but they're still not respecting you in the way you need to be respected. It's almost like it can feel kind of icky giving so much away to someone, you know? But I'm seeing you having such a huge support system. There are definitely people in your life that really, really care about you, and I see them actively trying to do something to like support you. This could be like them taking a class to better help you, or them like reading up a book about something that you're really into in order to better support your passions or your careers. This feels like they are finally like trying to meet you where you're at, because I feel like for a really long time you've been more of the support. You've been someone that they've leaned on. And now it feels like you're finally in a place where you can kind of like do your own thing, and you don't have to always be that person for them. They're finally trying to meet you where you're at. Because I feel like when you're really good at something, other people feel like, oh, well, that person's going to do it. So I don't really need to take care of it. I don't need to. But what I'm getting is that you have a community. You have people who really care about you. And these people are realizing that what they're doing is just not enough for you. I see them stepping up. I see them actually wanting to support you. But in the past, they may not have really like taken the steps to do that. You know, it's one thing to tell someone that you support them, but if you don't actually have the means to support them, or the skills or the energy or the knowledge, then what's the point? It feels like fake decisions, you know? So I really see you building on that foundation, building that solidity. And I actually see this also coming through someone wanting to offer you money, someone wanting to support your career or your dreams. It feels like you're finally getting support. This could be a sponsorship. This could be someone wanting to like be a mentor for you. I feel like this is you finally getting the help that you need financially. So things are coming through for you in a practical way as well. And whatever fallout you had with this person, you did what you could. Like, you can't even push anymore, because it feels like things are very, like you don't owe anyone an explanation anymore. You know, you did what you did. You said you're sorry. Now it's time for you to do you. If this person doesn't like it, then they can fuck off, honestly. There is so much for you here, and I feel like you have just been giving and apologizing. I think a lot of this does come from conditioning, like feeling like you had to grow up saying sorry, being raised to like take responsibility for things and be nice and people please. But now this is about people actually like doing what's right for you. And you are someone who can be very successful. I feel like you're not where you want to be because you haven't had that support that you need. But now I actually feel like people are stepping up. I'm seeing someone very close to you stepping up, really making an effort. I'm seeing someone wanting to support you financially, wanting to to represent you, wanting to show up for you. It feels like all the things that you thought you would be not able to afford, it feels like you can very soon. It feels like you're going to be making money. You're going to be getting what you need to make your career happen. It's a very exciting time. So I'm gonna use the tarot here. Let's elaborate a little bit. The Lover, the Hangman reversed. A lot of major arcana energy already. Okay, so this is telling me that there's someone, maybe an ex or someone who you were really into. I'm sensing a lot of like emotional connection to them. This person, you had some kind of fight or conflict, or there's some kind of fallout, and it feels like you are really trying to almost suck up to them. It's almost like, how many times do I have to apologize? You know, it feels like that. But this is telling me that you have so much more power than they do, and it feels like you're giving it all to them. You know, it's almost like you're giving up your power for this person who really isn't taking you seriously enough. I feel like you have sacrificed a lot for the people around you. And this is really about you taking it in. It might feel like right now you're just waiting on other people to catch up with you in life. Like, you are very qualified. In many ways, you're overqualified for things in your life, like your job situation. I'm sensing like you being overqualified. I'm actually seeing the end of a career with the Death card, this new opening, this new opportunity, this new like transformation coming through. It feels like with the support of this person or the people in your life, you're going to be able to transform into the person you want to be and kind of like let go of this feeling of like no support, like I don't really know where I'm going. So we see a lot coming in financially. It feels like you have to just kind of keep going, even if right now things don't seem to be moving forward at all. I feel like also you may have made a lot of sacrifices for someone. I'm seeing you sacrificing a lot, going out of your way for them, putting your heart on the line for them. I also see you having a very like physical relationship with them. It's a physical situation. So I feel like this could indicate somebody who is really, really, really connected with you, but I just see them maybe not appreciating you fully. And it may have felt like, wow, I've put all this time and energy into this person and I've tried, but I never seem to be good enough. And like, this is the time to really acknowledge this, accept this. We have the Knight of Cups, someone new coming in. I feel like this is the time where you're going to meet someone new. I feel like there's a romantic interest. This person is very charming, very funny. They are definitely romantic. I see them really pursuing you for your heart and not for the things that you do, not the things that you have to offer or your skills. It feels like they really, really want that connection with you. I can see them being kind of like that anxious attachment where they constantly kind of need to be acknowledged that they are loved by you. It feels like you need to remind them almost that you care about them for some reason. The Knight of Cups is going to represent someone who is sensitive, expressive. They're not afraid to tell you how they feel. They wear their heart on their sleeve. And I see them being someone who's more creative. Not everything is going to click into place right away, you know, but it just feels like I don't see this being like you in a relationship. This could be like an ex situation and then there's a new person to date or a new love interest. This doesn't feel like a serious relationship, but it could turn into one, you know? Trying to keep it all on here. Okay. With the Artist, this is really exciting because I feel like this gives you so much more control. It's almost like, wow, I have people in my life who are now supporting me, who are now comforting me, who I know are there for me. So I feel comfortable letting them do that. And I can actually focus on the things I want to create, I want to do. I'm seeing new projects coming through and people really supporting you. I feel like there's some really important conversations that must be had. And then we also have with the Death card reversed, you might not have wanted to let go of the reins. I feel like there are parts of you that were like resisting accepting help or resisting money because you're very pride, like you have some pride, okay? I feel like you don't want people to just like do stuff for you. You've always been very self-sufficient, but this is about also like being okay with things, like being okay with accepting help, being okay with somebody paying for you. covering the bills, covering money. This person really sees what you're capable of. They really believe in you. And I'm seeing with the sun, this is a very exciting part of your life, because this is also beautiful, happy times ahead. It's almost like you feel alleviated, like all of this resistance, this tension you've faced, it's like all coming free. It's making you feel like you can be free. And so through these works, through being uplifted, you're going to be able to finally have some freedom, some relief, and that feeling of like not being able to trust someone is going to become less and less prevalent. You know, in mythology, the Selkie was a woman with a seal skin. And the sailor would steal the seal skin, and she would be forced to live with him. And she would just be forced to do his bidding, and like he held that over her. And so it's like, how can I trust this person? How can I trust anyone if they're going to take advantage of me like that? And male Selkies were always very alluring. Like they were very sensual, very attractive, but they had this way of enticing people, of luring them into traps, into bad situations. So I think it's really important for you to really realize who you're trusting, but understand that not everyone's a Selkie, okay? You are beautiful, you are powerful, you are strong, you got this. Whoever this person is that made you feel like you had to apologize or explain yourself, fuck them, you know? Ooh, I dropped the card. The cards are being very active right now, and I think that just says a lot about, I'm sensing some anger from them on your behalf. We have Voyage. You already have all the answers. This also could mean that you are traveling. I feel like there's a lot of like, this is a time for you to really explore. I love how we have the tail here, the Selkie tail, perhaps. It feels like no matter what, this is your time to explore. The world is your oyster. And remember, you know this deep down. You know that this person isn't right. Like, you know that that person wasn't for you. And you know that there are good people out there, despite how you might feel right now. The world is messy. The world is dangerous. The world is scary. But I feel like you are so ambitious and you're so blessed to have this entourage around you that you can now look to for comfort. You're not alone. You already have all the answers you need within you. So start listening to yourself. Start trusting yourself, trusting your own voice. And remember, this is your journey. Enjoy it. Okay. One more card here. Endings. This is the perfect time for you to let go of things. I feel like a lot of things are coming to an end, whether it's this relationship, whether it's this feeling of distrust. There is a new era for you opening up, a new chapter, a new way forward. And sometimes these things have to end. I feel like a lot of things that you were kind of hiding behind because they were comfortable or safe, they're ending. And it's time for you to flourish and embrace what you really are truly good at. Stop thinking that you won't be supported, because I do see support for you. I see good things ahead for you. I see something being funded. I'm hearing funding, but I also am hearing that laughter. I'm hearing laughter. I feel like this new person coming into your life has a really beautiful laugh. It's one thing that will stand out. And I'm getting that they have a very strong sense of humor. So this is really exciting. Let me see if I can get any energy coming through here. Okay, we have the first house, we have Uranus and Gemini. So I would say this is Gemini, Aquarius, and Aries. So sun, moon, or rising sign. So look out for those in your life, those signs. These are either the people that I was speaking about, or they could also represent you in this situation. And I also think it's really important for you to look at your first house, because that is the house of self. That is the house of independence. And in astrology, whatever planets we have there, that's how we show up. Like, that's our first way into the world. That's our beginning. You know, that's right in our ascendant house. So especially if it's close to the ascendant, if you have something there. How can you show up in the world better? How can you harness this information? You're naturally an innovative person with this Uranus energy. And Gemini just makes you adaptable. But yeah, keep an eye out for these signs and this type of astrological energy or placements in your life. And I'm just going to see if I can get any other information by pulling a rune. Okay. Hagalaz is the hailstorm. So we have H. So the letter H might stand out to you. It's definitely a time where things might feel more chaotic, and it feels like you might have to just wait for things to settle down a little bit. But it's also a good time for you to reflect. You know, you can't control a hailstorm. You just kind of have to surrender to it. You have to accept that things are ending, things are growing, things are flowing, and it is time for a new adventure for you. It's time for new projects, more money, more support. This is a very exciting moment. So embrace it. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Remember, if you would like to dive deeper with me, you can always book a reading with me on my website. Subscribe to my channel for more awesome content. I will be also posting more live streaming readings as well. And I'm also working on the astrology content that I have been working on for a while. So if you've been waiting for your compatibility video, or you've been waiting to watch an astrology video, make sure to stay tuned for that. Comment below, let me know what you think and if this resonated. Bye-bye.